All right, let's see if we get a 5 by 5, see if my computer comes up. Go there, make sure that we're all in one piece. Hmm. Do 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 do. Come on, computer. Let's see if you guys can hear me. How much is the delay here tonight? Okay, here comes my computer. Now I can see me. Let's see. Okay, and Paul Garricky says you can hear me, and so does Checks to Mix One. Okay, good deal. So we got a couple rooster. All right. Hey, well, we're back home, guys. Thanks for following me into the depths of the internet here for what's gone on the last couple of days. But I still get a kick out of it because, of course, I appealed immediately, and they're like, "Nope, we denied your appeal." And so I got a hold of YouTube. I'm like, "Look, nobody watched the video." It's like, "Oh yeah, it's already gone through a manual review." I said, "That's impossible. Nobody did." Okay, I'll escalate this and everything like that. And then late last night, it was at 9 o'clock or whatever it was, and I just flipped over to the channel to see what was going on. It's like a little box in our studio. It says, "Warning, like the strike's gone." It's like, and then I got the email this morning. So nice that YouTube actually, the human being actually took a look at it. So I do appreciate the fact that they admitted their error, and I have the email that they sent me apologizing for their mistake. So, but from what I've heard from some other people, is it's happened to quite a few other channels, and everybody seems to be in the same thing as what's going on. Robert saying I'm fuzzy. The only Wow, I'm looking at the screen. Yeah, it is. Hopefully, it'll clear up a little bit. Here, let me try something. All right, you'll see if this works any better. Okay, looks a little, well, maybe a little clearer on my end. Let's hope it works. Usually, what I'll do is I'll put it on 4G to stream because it seems to be a better picture, but so that's what I had it on, but it was a little fuzzy, so I'll put it over onto my Wi-Fi and see. And there you go, Mountaintop Preps 5 by 4. Good. Okay. All right. So that's why I ask. So thank you guys for telling me that. So I just switched over to Wi-Fi, and we'll make sure it works a little bit better. All right. So the big news of the day, if you will, is what's going down in Uvalde, Texas. I guess it is now up to 18 kids dead and two adults. So that's, my heart bleeds for everybody. I mean, prayers, sympathies to all the families down there. When you're talking about a bunch of kids between 7 and 9 years old, that's just, I don't, there's no words to say. Okay. And I guess Biden's supposed to be making a speech at 8:15, which means he'll probably come on about 9:30. So hopefully we'll all get a chance to see what he has to say afterwards. Now, the one thing that I do want to let everybody know about this, and the media is going to spin the living crap out of this story, okay? Please understand all the facts, because I'm seeing already that the media is not reporting them accurately. This 18-year-old kid killed his grandmother this morning. He had also texted or Instagrammed or something, some stranger, and says, "I'm, going to do something, blah, blah, blah. Feel lucky that I'm going to do it." They knew pretty quick it was him. There was a bolo out, be on the lookout, to all the cops for his truck. The cops saw his truck on the road and started a pursuit. The kid crashed into the school and then, of course, went on his rampage. Now, I'm not going to say that it wasn't his intent to go to the school, but we don't know that yet, and we may never know that. He could have crashed into a gas station, and that could have been where it happened too. If he crashed into the school by accident, then no, you can't really consider this the liberal school shooting thing. Yes, it happened in a school, and yes, kids were killed, and yes, it's a massive tragedy, and I cannot imagine, okay? But listen to the way the news is reporting and how they spin this, because we don't know yet if this kid was a citizen or not. And we don't know yet if it was just him evading the police and by happenstance he wound up at a school. Okay. Before everybody jumps to judgment, and I'm not saying on him. The guy, I'm glad he's freaking dead. I'd have rather seen him in front of a firing squad. But when you're listening to the media reports on this, listen to it with a critical ear, because you know there's going to be the media and politician who are going to try to score points with this one. And that's just sickening to me. So far we have 20 people dead, including 18 kids, and politicians are going to go, hey, cool, I can use this for political points. Okay. I'd like to see those politicians at the other end of the blindfolded with a cigarette hanging in their mouth, if you know what I mean, too. So say a prayer for all those families tonight, those kids, the adults too, and keep them in your heart. Other things going on today. It's a Tuesday, so we have some primaries, and so today's the day we find out who's going to be the two candidates for governor in Georgia. Whether Brian Kemp or David Perdue wins the GOP nomination. Personally, I'm not a big fan of either one of them, but I don't live in Georgia, so I guess it really doesn't matter. Certainly not a fan of Stacey Abrams, and Stacey Abrams has already won the Democrat primary, which I get a kick out of, because this will tell you how much identity politics is pushing Porky here to her future. I mean, mind you this, she was broke 3 years ago, something like that. Now she's a multimillionaire. Okay. Please tell me what job she's had in the last 3 years. But in the last couple of days on the campaign trail, her quote was, Georgia is the worst country in the state to live. Yeah, there's somebody that I want leading my state if I live down in Georgia. You want to be in charge of the state, and you say it's the worst state in the country to live. I got a great idea, Stacey. You can improve the state real fast. Get your fat ass out of there. That's about the only way I can put it. Leave. Don't come to Tennessee. Okay? We don't want you here. But yeah, let's deride everybody in the state, calling it the worst place in the country to live, but yet I want to be the one that's making the decisions for the state. Sure, there you go. Okay. Stacey, I hate to tell you this. One of the reasons why you think it's the worst country or worst state in the country to live is a lot of the policies that your party has put into play in those big cities. I don't know, Fulton County and everything. Yeah, let's take a look at the quality of life there under the Democrats. Garbage. Okay. But even Stacey Abrams can't take the cake for the dumbest liberal today. Somebody actually beat AOC. I mean, that's tough, because AOC wins about 360 days a year, okay? Those of you that live in Washington State, do you know who Rebecca Parson is? If you don't, be happy. She is a Democratic socialist, avowed Democratic socialist, running for Congress, okay? One of the first things she wants to do if she gets elected is to put a bill, as she calls it, the Housing for All bill, in front of Congress, which allows people to break into other people's homes legally and move in, okay? Oh, well, if there's vacant homes, the homeless should just be able to move in, okay? Her quote, imagine I proposed a housing for all bill in Congress, then imagine you, me, and 1 million of our friends took action and occupied empty houses nationwide. They couldn't ignore us. This is in her ad, her political ad. So she's advocating breaking and entering and trespassing. There you go. That's somebody I want in Congress, okay? But, she can't be that dumb, right? Now, the $15 minimum wage, she's not for that. She thinks the minimum wage should be $30 an hour. $60,000 a year to go. Would you like fries with that? Okay. Those fries will cost you $17, sir, because we got to pay my $60,000 salary. I can't make change, but I get paid $60,000 a year. Guys, this is what these people don't get. You could make the minimum wage $1 million a year. It doesn't matter when the Big Mac, just a Big Mac, costs you $500,000. Okay. It's all relative. You want to make more money? Get some skills. That's about it. Learn how to do something. But yes, so those are the interesting political topics for today. But the Texas one, like I said, guys, please keep all those folks in your prayers today. It breaks my heart anytime I hear anything like that. But when it's kids, it's just it tears me up. So, all right, let's get into Q&A. You guys know the rules around here: PG-13, keep it clean, family oriented, yada yada yada. Moderators: Lorna, Robert, Jacob, North Shore, and Lucky Dame. Thank you guys again for being here. And Iron Fist, keep the crap out of here. We'll go from there. Guys, again, like everywhere else, please, if you got questions for me, put it in all caps. I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest version of the rules tonight because I want to get into it because I have a feeling that people got a lot to talk about tonight. So, been a busy couple of days. So, let's get started. I'll go to the top here and see what we got. All right. Yeah, Okie Forge, Lester Holt and his crew could not wait to politicize it. That doesn't surprise me. I mean, I remember Lester Holt when he was the anchor for the evening news in Chicago on WBBM on Channel 2. And, I mean, he was a piece of garbage. Keep it clean. Then, too. So, Roger Goodman, welcome back to my home channel, sir. Yeah, it's funny because it's not like I do anything else different, but this is home. And this is where I belong, it's like, and Monday felt really, or Sunday felt really weird to me. I was pissed Saturday night, but Sunday felt really weird to me because it was, what the hell just happened, so. Pilgrim Prepper, hey Pinball, thank you for all your help. I don't know what I did, but you're welcome. Let's see. Darlene Carter, now they will push to take everyone's guns away. The evil in people's heart, not the gun's fault. This is the thing. And, we've all heard it, people kill people, guns don't, okay? My guns have never shot anybody. We've heard all the lines, okay? I'm sorry, but a pencil can be a deadly weapon in the right hands. I've said it a million times. More people are killed in car accidents a year than by gunshot, yet we don't ever talk about it, abolishing cars. It's just one of those things that when somebody's afraid of something, when they don't know how to use something, they don't want anybody else to have it. That's the difference between conservatives and liberals. Okay. If conservatives don't want to have something, they don't have it. If liberals don't want to have something, nobody can have it. In a nutshell, that defines the two parties or two philosophies. Stacy R., pray for the first responders who had to help. Yeah. I've only had one situation in my life where somebody was injured and I was there to help. Like that, somebody had gotten stabbed. But I cannot imagine what these cops, firemen, EMTs, whoever was on the scene today had to go in and see bodies of little kids. I mean, that, you want to talk about having PTSD, that'll do it. Julie F. Pinball, in one article, they felt it was necessary to specify the kid was a U.S. citizen. Okay. All right. If they've found that out already, good. Let's get all the facts. Kim, what's the status of the WHO treaty? All right. So this is interesting. This came out tonight, maybe about 6 o'clock. There may not be enough votes to pass it. Now, nothing's happened yet, but Biden's still trying to get this. There may not be enough votes by all the countries in the world to pass this, but Biden's still trying to figure out a way to do it, okay, to get the U.S. involved in this. So he is adamant about giving up our freedoms and our sovereignty. You have there was some South American country, I can't remember if it was Brazil or Argentina or something like that, who said, hell no, we're not going to do it, and made it very public. It might have been Bolsonaro. And said, this is not going to happen. We are not giving up anything. And then you get Potato Joe, who's like, sure, you want to, I mean, y'all saw what I told you guys about the Director General of the World Health Organization today, if you saw that video, okay? I mean, the guy's part of a political party that the U.S. considers a global terrorist organization. And that's who Biden wants to give the decisions over what happens in case of any medical emergency in the United States. Woo-hoo. Way to go, Joe. I guess vetting them didn't matter either, huh? You know, hell, Afghanis, illegals, Ukrainians, your vice president. Hell, you know, why bother vetting somebody who you want to sign over the sovereignty to the United States for? Romy Davis, gas in Texas is $4.35 today. It's about the same here. So, Wilderness Woman, greetings to Wisconsin. Thoughts on monkeypox before it's a taboo subject, or is it already? It's not yet. Pay attention to it is the best I'm going to say on it right now. You know, I mean, the fact that it has a 1% mortality rate, you know, that's concerning. You know, everybody goes, oh, 1%, you know, that's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it is. When you've got 9 billion people in the United States, do the math, okay? You know, that's a lot of freaking people. They're not in the United States, in the world. You know what I was talking about. The stories are that it was spread at a rave in Antwerp or something, you know, some sex party or something like that, and primarily between gay men, or maybe, where was it? The Canary Islands, I guess it was, and then that went on to Antwerp or whatever. That, we'll see. Okay, you know, again, the advantage to this one is, and that's a bad word, using advantage. The fortunate thing, I guess, we have is this isn't like AIDS, okay, where all of a sudden it hit the world and we had no cure for it. Monkeypox, there is a vaccine for it, there's an antidote for it, there's treatment for it, et cetera, et cetera. You know, so hopefully this is just a blip on the radar, but it's still worth paying attention to, especially after listening to what Bill Gates said a couple of years ago, specifically talking about monkeypox. Because what do they know and let slip, you know, by accident? Kim, our society is lawless. Yeah. And that's the problem. It's not that it's lawless. Our society is way too politicized. Okay. The law doesn't matter. The politics do. I mean, that's the thing. You know, the new sheriff gets elected or whatever it is. It doesn't matter that he's going to uphold the law. Whose laws is he going to uphold? The United States laws, or is he going to uphold the wishes, you know, champagne wishes and caviar dreams of the latest Democrat, you know, whatever it would be. So That's the problem. It's not that we're lawless. It's like the people that are in charge don't, they're more interested in the politics, again, their own life than the people they're supposed to serve. Stacy R, left-wing logic is mind-blowing. Left-wing doesn't have any logic, so there's your problem. Treasure seekers, your house is empty because you're at work or sent overseas on vacation. Hello, exactly. It's like, oh, what define vacant house there, lady? Like you said, I went over to the house at 8 o'clock in the morning and there was nobody there still at 10, so it must be a vacant house. Yeah, because I was at work. I was at the grocery store, whatever the hell it would be. Can you imagine coming back home and finding somebody else sitting on your couch watching The View and eating your Cheetos? I mean, come on, because that's the crowd that's going to be moving into your house anyway. So, you got to remember the rest of us are at work. So, all right, and we're going to shoot to the bottom. So let me scroll back up and see what we got. Based, what kind of coffee do I like? Black. Okay, believe me, I'm not a coffee snob. I've got Walmart brand coffee in my cabinet here for making my coffee in the morning. It's like whatever's on sale. If it's Maxwell House, if it's Folgers, whatever the hell it is, whatever's on sale when I go to the store and need to buy some. I think I've got half a dozen cans in the pantry or something like that. If I see something on sale, I'll add it. I'm not picky. It's just black coffee. That's it. Hell, I drank Army coffee for the longest time. It's not like any coffee is going to be better than that. Guy, can you give me gas money? I could take a second mortgage out on a house for it, I guess, or first mortgage at this point. Tammy Eaker, question: how is my garden doing? Well, it rained yesterday, so that was good, and everything's very wet outside today. I went out today because I was trying to put more water in the pond, but I didn't check the garden today because everything's muddy. But I'll get out, get some peas. But everything, I did the garden tour. What was it? Saturday, Sunday? Whatever, show you guys what was going on. Everything's looking good. So, Mary Bishop, how's Mrs. P feeling? Is she over the poison ivy? She's taking the Benadryl, which of course is knocking her out, and she's wrapping her arm in a calamine soaked gauze or whatever it is, something that we've got. So that seems to be working, but she's got it. She's uncomfortable with it. Fortunately, she doesn't have it terribly. She doesn't get it like I do, but she don't want to take the prednisone. She's just going to fight it naturally. Strong woman. She's just like that with it, so she's doing okay, but I'm just kind of letting her be and let her get better. No pressure on her to do anything. So, Bob Mills, hear anything about we're not getting any more DEF for diesel engines imported? I saw somebody sent me an email today. Was it Mother Trucker News? Talking about, and I didn't get a chance to watch the whole video, but talking about hedge funds and stuff like that. Apparently, this is a little deeper than we all know about what's going on with the diesel fuel. So I've got to get back, check out that whole video after the live stream tonight, see what's going on, kind of enlighten myself on that one. Prep Rebel, question: did the rain fill my pond? Oh, not even close. We don't even have water across in the shallow end of the pond yet, on the bottom. I mean, it's 500,000 gallons. I figure that we need, and I'm trying to fill it with whatever rain we got, and a garden hose literally pumping water out of a stream. So it's going to take a while unless I find an alternate means to do it. So, or we get some good strong storms. But again, think about it, guys. You're talking about, oh my God, we got 2 inches of rain. I got to get down 6 feet. So that's a lot of rain to get in there. It's not like there's a natural spring bubbling up underneath the pond or anything like that. It's, any runoff that I get, but it's got to rain hard enough for there to be runoff. And it's been so dry here lately, the ground soaked everything up, no problem. There wasn't any drainage off the mountain into the pond because I would be able to tell because straw would be in the pond, but no straw in the pond. Uh, Jan Myers. Now the evening news and your host, Pinball. Yeah, well, again, I know people go, well, this is not a news channel, not a politics channel. Well, it's a prepping channel. Yes, but knowledge is power. That is the most, you can't you can't prep for something you don't know what's happening. Imagine if there was no communication and you had no idea that Russia was in Ukraine, that there was a potential 40% of the country was going to be under potential for blackouts over the summer. You didn't know when a hurricane was coming or anything like that. You're just going willy-nilly on with your life, and then all of a sudden you wake up one morning and everything's gone. Okay. Knowing what's going on makes you a better prepper. It allows you to prep for some things that you may not have considered. So Marilyn Parmalee, thank you, and I'm so glad I won that skirmish. Yes, me too. Ildeco, at my new job, they offer matching 401k if one stays for 3 years. As a prepper, do you think it's something to do? Yes, but, okay. Obviously, they'll match up to a certain dollar amount, and whether it's 25 cents on a dollar, 50 cents on a dollar for dollar, whatever it would be. I mean, all sorts of companies have all sorts of different matches. The catch is this. It's only the amount that you can put in. So let's say the company will match, I'm just hypothetical here, a dollar for dollar match up to the first 3% that you put into the market or put into the 401k. Okay. So you put in $10 into your 401k each paycheck. That's 3%, hypothetically. All right. The company will also put in $10. If you put that in money market fund, in cash, you've got a return of 100%. No complaints. Absolutely. I'm going to say do that. If you put it into stocks, okay, you put in your $10, they put in $10, so there's $20, and the stock market goes down 25%. Okay. Now that combined $20 is worth $15. All right. So you've lost some of that match too. And again, a lot of this depends on your age, your risk tolerance. At my age, I don't want to be taking any risk. Okay. Everything I've worked for, I want to keep. I'm not worried about, oh my God, let's try to make money fast or, go buy Bitcoin or go buy, the tech stocks or something like that. Gee, maybe this company's the next Amazon and I'll be a millionaire. Okay. That's fine when you're 20 because you got plenty of time to make it back. You get up 50, 60, 70, 80, forget it. Okay, at that point you're going, all right, I need to be able to I don't want to outlive my money. Last thing I want to do is be 70 years old out on the street with signs says will work for food at 70 years old going, I need a job. So that's the thing. If they're going to give you the match, take the match, sure. In this market, I would not be buying anything other than cash, maybe bonds. If you have the opportunity to buy TIPS, which are Treasury inflation protected securities, those are paying 9 2/3 right now. That's good. I'd be jumping on that. But other than that, gold and silver is the only way to go. Like I said in the video the other day, every asset class except for precious metals is down this year. 9mm preps. Are you going to Travis's expo? I mean, please understand that's a long ass drive for me. That's 8 hours, or almost 10 hours just to get to Memphis for me. So that would be a 2-day drive for me. No, I will not be going. Let's see. Darlene Carter, a lot of tiny peaches and plums blew off my trees. If I plant the tiny fruit that have seeds in it, will they grow? No, they're not mature. They need to be mature seeds before they'll grow. So, I mean, that fruit has to be ripe. Not the little ones will not do anything. Beth Elliott, what would be my number one food item to prep? I'm going to give you one that's going to be a little different. It's not going to be rice and beans. The number one item I would say to prep would be oatmeal. That would be my number one thing to say to get. because it'll give you the carbs, it'll give you the energy that you need to do anything else. And it's the reason I say is because it's not something that you can grow at home. Okay. I can grow beans. I'm going to need the energy to do the work. I can't grow oatmeal. So that would be my number one food. HJS, good news is posting a couple of videos keeps the alt channel active. I guess that's true. Okay, good. So you're like me. You try to find a silver lining in everything like that. Let's see. Diane Polk, how many kids were hurt? Did any die? Just heard about this. Last I've heard, there are 18 kids that were killed and two adults. And I can't say how many others were injured. That I don't know. DOS FC or DOS, Sergeant First Class, I'm not sure. Regarding the World Health Organization, what is Russia and China's stance? That I do not know. That would be a good question. I know, well, let's put it this way. I don't know Russia's. I do know China's against it, okay? But Russia, I do not know. We'll see, you know. There we go. Jay Myers, Russia has put a ban on Biden, Harris, AOC, Pelosi, Schumer, and others from entering Russia. I wonder if they put a ban on Bernie Sanders. You know, I mean, hey, he's only wants to go back and live there, you know, honeymoon there. I mean, you know, things like that are very, what's the word I'm looking for? Symbolic, okay? You tell me, what reason would AOC have to go to Russia? I mean, I can't, and I'm not sure, but who's the last president who did go to Russia? Okay, I don't know. But, you know, Pelosi, she went over to Ukraine, and what happened? You know, everybody was in an uproar going, what the hell are you doing over there? You know, you don't have the authority to be doing anything like that. You're the Speaker of the House, not any international diplomat that is supposed to be dealing with it. I mean, she went on her own and got her hand slapped for it. So, let's see. Hecton Gibbous. I'll try that. If Potato gets his way, we'll indeed have 9 billion people in the U.S. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, like I said the other day, it's like we're adding more people than, what was it, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Vermont, or Alaska a month at this point. You know, unbelievable. You know. Okay. Screwdriver, do I have an overflow pipe and a spillway on the pond? No and yes. No overflow pipe. See, but you got to understand, I'm on the side of a mountain. Okay. So we had to build up the low end, and the top end is basically, I mean, the whole thing's on a slope. So we had to build this up so we could put water in it. That's why I have a shallow end and a deep end. But on this side, we also put a spillway there. So in case the water, we get crazy water, it'll flow down the natural contour of the front yard and into the drain down by the street. So, but no overflow pipe, no. Gracie Quinn, your thoughts on Pelosi being banned from communion? I saw that the other day, and I'm like, good. You know, you can't have it both ways. I mean, Joe tries all, oh, I'm a practicing Catholic, and Nancy the same way. Oh, I pray for you. At the same time, they're going, where's that coat hanger? You know, no, you know, you either follow the tenets of your beliefs or you don't. If you don't believe in what the church teaches you, then you aren't part of that religion. That's it. Okay. Go sign up for the Lutheran church or the Methodist church, or I don't know, whichever one's going to sit there and say, okay, abortion's okay. The Catholic Church says no. Therefore, if you want to violate or disagree with that, then you are not a Catholic. Simple as that. Okay. You You know, if I don't want to pay taxes, if I don't want to speak English, I'm not an American. I don't want to fight for the country. I don't want to stand for the flag, then I'm not an American. Same difference. The missing link. Why do these big things happen right before an election? Because they're planned. This is it. Let's get, it's diversion, diversion, diversion. Oh crap, everything's going south. Let's create a problem so everybody will look over here and not watch what's going on over here. Oh, we don't want Joe to talk about the economy, or we don't want the people to think about the economy. Let's start a war somewhere. This is how politicians think. Remember, their only goal is power. They have no desire whatsoever to help you and me. They could care freaking less about you and me. The only thing we're good for is a vote every 4 years, and that doesn't seem to matter a whole lot much anymore. Okay. Do you think the politicians care about helping you? No. They're interested in lining their pockets. That is it. And they want to keep that job. So anything they can do to keep that job, that's what they're going to do. Bluebird of Happiness, thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate that. The Cushnet Prepper, eat bananas 12 a day to combat monkeypox. I eat 1 or 2. There ain't no way in the world I'm eating 12. Carissa Gantwell, for unbiased information on pox by a pathologist, check out Peak Prosperity earlier tonight. Okay. Jay Myers, would be surprised if Bill Gates is not behind the monkeypox virus. Me too. Yeah, I mean, he basically announced it about 18 months ago. So, the gain of function research, interesting. So we'll see what happens. His hands ain't clean. We don't know how dirty they are, but they certainly ain't clean. Shooting to the bottom. There we go. 820. Jen Boyles, 823. Still no potato. Somebody's got to wake him up from his nap, change his diaper, give him some pudding, and make the teleprompter have big font and little words. So Monique McCoy, my garden isn't taking off yet. Other than adding more fertilizer, what can I do? You got to be patient. Okay, it's not going to grow like crazy. I don't know what area you're in, but remember, a lot of plants are going to need that warmer weather. I mean, your plants that are north of me that are still going to be growing well, cabbages, broccolis, cauliflower, peas, cold weather crops, the peppers, the tomatoes, the squash, that sort of stuff. We haven't got the warm weather yet for them. I mean, those need temps up, in the 70s and 80s minimum before they're going to start doing much of anything. So just be patient. It's still May. You're early. Now if you're telling me you're down in southern Texas, then we got a problem. Jamie, build a ram pump to fill the pond. Yes, but the problem I've got is the water source is 700 feet away downhill. Okay, so I've got to pump uphill and 700 feet to get to it. So, there's the issue. Goblin Life, opinions on a carbon footprint. Yes, another piece of terminology that's bullshit. Okay, yeah, carbon footprint. No. Colorado Prepper, if you bury your head in sand, guess which part is sticking up? Yeah, the part that a Democrat talks out of. Purring Lady, thank you for being a straight shooter. Yeah, sometimes it gets me in trouble. But yeah, I'm going to tell you as I see it. If you're a raving lunatic or a liberal, same thing. This is probably not the channel for you. J. Thomas Reset, didn't you say there's a creek at the back of your property? No, the back of the property of my neighbor. So that's about 700 feet away for me to get a hose to it. Jay Myers, do they want the truth or do you want lies and wool pulled over your eyes? Personally, I like the truth. Okay. The media, no. They want to the media, the truth is what they want you to believe. To me, the truth is a fact. different. Like I said, watch with open ears what the whole story is on this deal. Prep Rebel, thank you for the super sticker. Ann Palmer, we're here because we like your channel just like it is. I ain't changing. So, I mean, this is it. This is, like I said before, this is me in real life. This is what you guys get. I'm not sugarcoating anything. I would tell you how to cow ate the cabbage, and that's it. Lazy Loper, we're in SoCal and went to our local Costco for DEF today, and they had none. Yeah, that's you think about, we start running out of DEF fluid for trucks, and who cares about diesel? Okay, now it doesn't matter. We're done. No more trucks on the road. I've said it a couple of times, and people need to understand this, normies especially. Every single thing you have, bar none, in your house somehow was touched by diesel fuel. Okay, I don't care if it's your furniture, your food, your seeds, your shovel, your car, whatever it would be. If there ain't diesel fuel, you have none of that, because that's how it got to the store, got to the gas station, Amazon, how it got delivered, whatever it would be. If there ain't diesel, we come to a stop. You all saw with the trucker strike up in Canada, the one that actually did something, that truckers can put a big hurt on an economy real quick. Now, if the truckers can't move, there's a difference between can't and don't want to. Okay, if they can't move, there's no way to fix that. We're screwed, and that's one of the things we're prepping for. North Shore says halfway point, folks. Hit the like button. Yeah, let's see if we can make it to the end tonight, right? There you go. Tennessee Prepper, should you freeze the oatmeal before Mylar bagging it? You can. I don't, not with my oatmeal. The rice and stuff like that I do. But yeah, oatmeal, I just buy the Quaker Oats, or usually the Walmart brand, and just dump, or grocery store brand, whatever it is. I care less what brand it is. Doesn't taste any different to me. And then just put it in Mylar bags and seal it up and put it in a bucket. So that's it. I don't freeze it. You can, but oatmeal's not one of those I think you need to. Romy Davis, I'm seeing a lot of disabled vets on the streets. How can I tell if I'm giving my money to the right ones? This is going to sound cold, being a vet. Don't give your money to any of the vets, supposed vets, that are on the street. Most of them aren't vets. Okay, a large portion of them aren't vets. Give it to the organization. Give the money to the organizations, and God knows there's one in every town. Many organizations that will help veterans with housing, with food, with a place to stay, whatever, clothing. That's the way to get it, because when you start giving money to the guy on the side of the road, who chances are isn't a vet and just trying to play to your sympathies, a lot of times that either goes for drugs or booze, and you're not helping them at all. Stolen Soul, thank you for the super sticker. So yeah, if you give the money to some sort of organization that helps the vets, they're going out around town and trying to find these people and bring them into a warm place, a cool place, a place with a bed, get them off the street, feed them a meal, that sort of stuff. That's a better way to do it. Jenny Kidwell, question, do scarecrows work? I guess so. I don't have one. I've never used one, but scarecrows are kind of for the corn. I don't know about plum trees, but if you want to keeping birds, how to keep crows out of plum trees. Yeah, I'd say try something like a scarecrow or something. I mean, I'll give you something that would be easier. All right, take like a little mirror or something that's reflective, put it on a string and hang it from a branch so it swings in the wind. those flashes of light will be a lot better for keeping the birds. I mean, I'm assuming it's working for crows. It works for other birds, but the flashes of light, that movement and stuff like that, will detract the birds or distract the birds. Robert Bates, Russia also banned some dead politicians. There'll be Russian politicians? It seems a lot of those guys are dead, dying. Lieutenant Frank Drebin. Thanks, Pinball. You work better than Valium. Yay! There's a tagline for the show. Pinball Preparedness, better than Valium. God. Kevin Gaston, pinball is 15 kids killed and 1 adult. That Fox is saying 18 and 2. So that was the latest I saw. FoxNews.com. Big B prepping. If you had the chance, would you buy Goldbacks? I did a video on this, 6-8 months ago or whatever. I'm not a fan of Goldbacks because the premium is way too high. I'd rather buy the physical gold. The gold, I mean, they're cool to look at, and yes, they have gold in them, but again, remember, now you're also paying for the printing and for the marketing and everything like that. And if you start going, okay, how much gold, what am I actually paying for? And all of a sudden you start realizing you're going, okay, if I had an ounce of this stuff, I'm paying like $3,000 an ounce in Goldbacks, where gold's 1,800 and change. So that's why I'm not a fan. There's no value in them. Pronunciation close enough. Good, sir. Thanks. Acton Gibbous. Hetchton Gibbous? Hetchton Gibbous? Okay. Jay Myers, last president was Reagan and Trump. Trump went to Russia? I mean, while he was president. I don't remember him going while he was president. Okay. But yeah, if it was Trump, but then before that was Reagan. All right. Now we're talking 40 years. Yeah, Nora Cortuum, can we put a ban on potato entering the U.S.? Yeah, that's it. Please don't come back from Asia. Stay over there. Move to China, Joe. You'll feel a lot more comfortable. They like communism over there. Kathleen Ralston, maybe we can settle South America when it's empty. Great. Let's rebuild the entire infrastructure of the United States and South America. The weather's nicer, but we'll see. Well, I mean, again, I know you're joking. It's kind of funny. Hasdrubal 121. UN says Ireland can hold 60 million people, 5 million here, and 20% of those were not born here. God. Ireland, 60 million people. Sure. How high do you have to stack them? Ireland is what? Maybe about the size of New Jersey? 60 million people. Okay. Ed Case, are you sure 90 proof Nancy didn't go to Russian vodka country? Yeah, it's probably what she was doing. She wasn't happy with her vineyard in California, so now she's trying to find a potato patch or whatever to make vodka, or make her own Russian or Ukrainian vodka. Light in the darkness. Do I think Russia or China will invade the USA? I know this one isn't in all caps, but I saw it. There was one of these stories that somebody, we hacked the China is gonna invade in California and everything like that. And sure enough, and a few of you guys had sent it to me, and I mean, y'all know my opinion of that particular author. Sure enough, it came back. The story was bullshit, like most of the stuff he writes. Okay, it's great for clickbait, but it's devoid of facts. I've said it quite often. China logistically invading the United States is very difficult. Okay. Russia may have a little bit easier time doing it if they came through Alaska, but then you kind of have Canada as a buffer. All right. But conventional war is not going to be fought on the United States soil, because there's no way in the world you're getting tanks and supplies and everything here. The only way you can bring them in is by ship. I mean, there's only so many cargo planes you can bring in, fast enough to airdrop tanks, I guess, if you will, airdrop trucks. without getting shot down. So that's not going to happen. I mean, remember, the only ways into the United States are either the Atlantic, the Pacific, Canada, or Mexico. We're going to know. It's not like Europe, where you've got a bunch of countries up and down the coast, or you can come in through Africa or whatever. I mean, there's a whole lot different way of doing it. The U.S. has some very good territorial, geographical defense ability. If there's a war on U.S. soil, it's either going to be an aerial war or a technical war, where the EMP, where they're going to take out the grid, something like that. As for boots on the ground would be mopping things up. That would not be the first line. Okay. Montana Grizz fan, please do not encourage people to come to Montana, Wyoming, or the Dakotas, especially the liberals. I don't encourage liberals to go in. Liberals can go to Africa. There's a good idea. Go to Europe, go to China. Get the hell out of my country. I'm not encouraging them to go to any state. They ruin the ones they're in. Go ruin a country. Leave this one alone. Uvalde, Texas, where the LV says, where the feds are taking illegals. Pray for our children. Yes. Sherm, Greenland, does vodka store indefinitely? Yes, it does not spoil. Yeah. Some liquors will. Most liquors are fine, shelf stable, everything like that. There are some of the ones that have a lot more sugar in it. Like you can't keep Baileys or something like that forever. That's not gonna keep. But your base liquors, your vodkas, your gins, rums, tequilas, scotch, stuff like that, you can leave that on the shelf for years. It's fine. Let's see, where are we? Pinball for House Speaker. No. Not yet, at least. Okay, scroll to the bottom, up to the top. Crazy Suburban Prepper, you stay you, and what anybody else says, Tennessee strong. Damn straight. Okay, that's it. I'm going to stay me. No. Screwdriver, you may be able to rent a gas-powered trash pump and hoses to fill your pond. 3-inch hoses. That the little stream probably wouldn't be able to handle it. I mean, mind you, I'm getting water. I could maybe a 3-inch hose to do it, but I'd be sucking everything out of that that's coming down that stream. So it's a tiny, tiny little stream. But even then, how long I'd have to rent a 3-inch hose and 700 feet of hose. There's the thing. So I called the company today just for them to give me a quote, see if I get a pumper truck to pump water from the lake, fill it up and do it here. I mean, the lake's a block away, but it's a matter of, I'd love if the fire department could do it, but we have a volunteer fire department. It's a tiny little town, right? So it's like I got the fire department voicemail. There's nobody there unless you call 911. I'm not calling 911 saying, "Hey, can you come fill my pond?" No. Sheena's Garden says Potato is speaking. Well, there you go. At least he's only a half an hour late. Jay Myers, they're now pushing the electric tractor trailers. Their range is 108 miles. Great. How many of them do we have? Because there's 30 million trucks in the United States on the road that run on diesel. How many electric ones do we have? Oh, gee, yeah, that might take a little bit of time to build those. Christina Davis, we're without power because of rain. Tip on one of the videos coming up tomorrow morning, NERC says that 40% of the United States can expect blackouts over the summer. That came out this afternoon. I'll talk about it in the morning. Adam Burton, thank you for everything you do. My pleasure. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy the camaraderie and the fellowship that we all have together. So it's therapeutic for me too, guys, because sometimes I just need to bitch. Sometimes you get to hear it. So, okay. Sherm, Greenland, don't you add moisture if you freeze rice? You're not, okay. so you understand what we're talking about, Sherm. You're not freezing it and you're freezing the rice for 3 days to kill potentially there is any uh, bug eggs or anything like that in the rice, right? Yes, you're going to let it get back to room temperature, let it make sure it's perfectly dry, and then put it in your Mylar bag with an oxygen absorber. But the whole point is to kill if there are any living creatures in there. A lot of people will say you put the O2 absorber in there, that'll do it too. Yes, it will. But a lot of people will freeze it. There's a couple of ways to do it. Bucknut 1978. What brand or where do you buy your wheat berries? I actually don't have wheat berries. That's Mountaintop Preps. That's their deal. And I did a video on a hand crank mill, God, what, 2-3 months ago or whatever it is that they let me borrow to show you guys what it was. A couple of different wheat mills. Go back and watch that video, and in that one they talk about where they get their wheat berries. Yes, because that's one thing that's good about getting together with other preppers is you don't have to duplicate everything. There's some things that they have, therefore I don't have to get them. There's some things I have, therefore they don't have to get them. Save, if everybody plans early on sharing stuff, it means you can, instead of having multiples of everything, which you may not need, and O2 is 1, 1 is 9, yada, yada. Yes, I get that. Okay. But none is guaranteed none. So if they've got one thing and I've got another thing, we both don't have to have the same one thing and have none of the other. Get my point? I'm not making that clear. Yeah. Kimberly House, I just found out that animal wheat is good. You just have to pick out the trash sticks and rocks. It's a lot cheaper if you can find it. Okay. Hey, work. It's one thing preppers are not allergic to is working. So, if we can, the more bang we can get for our buck, if that works, go for it. Prep Rebel, crows out of plum trees. Use that new dangled tinsel. There's a good idea. I never gave that a thought. Yeah, put some tinsel from your Christmas tree out there. Same effect as what I was saying, the shiny reflectiveness. Mountain Man, Biden quoted scripture. God, really? The devil himself quoting the Bible. Okay, well, let's see. Wolfsbane Hollow says discouraged crows get solar-operated owl statues. Solar battery allows the owls to turn their heads, and most birds will stay away from an owl. Okay. Mary Jane, my daughter dumped a cat on me. I've had a bumper crop of cherries ever since. How the hell does that work? Get a cat, get cherries. Okay. Well, okay, maybe if you're talking about keeping the birds away. All right, I got it. The squirrels are a little tired. They need to be fed. Kevin Gaston, they sell netting to cover trees. Yeah, it depends on the size of the tree. I mean, I like my pear tree, there's no way I'm going to cover that thing. It's 15 feet high already. S. Withers, Potato Joe is talking about the shooting, pushing common sense gun laws. Of course, because the gun did it, not the 18-year-old kid who, isn't old enough to have a gun anyway. Handguns, sorry. How'd he get it? Maybe somebody want to look into that part. Brooks Home Sweet Homestead. Oh my God, Potato needs to stop the scripture and the empty speech. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Be charming. Biden's going after the second with this latest shoot. Of course he is. The facts don't matter. Let's take 18 7 to 9-year-olds and let's politicize their death for my political cause. Way to go, Joe. That tells me what a scumbag you are. Jay Myers. Now I'm getting hot. Jay Myers, think what's going to happen. It's going to be like the Jesse James gang. That's fine. You know what? Let's do it. A armed society is a polite society. You want to be a piece of Hovno, you will get a cap in the ass. All right, 1 minute. Let's see what else we got. We'll go on one more. Guy, what is Trump doing with Klaus? I haven't. I know in the past Trump has gone to the World Economic Forum. I don't know, gone to Davos. I don't know if he's there this year. I don't believe he is. But if you know something I don't know, please let me know. All right, guys, 'tis 9 o'clock, and usually Angry Prepper comes on at 9. I don't want to steal, his thunder because obviously he's one of the top dogs. Let's put it that way. All right. Have a good one, y'all. We'll see you in the morning. Pinball out.